So, how many video creatives do you need to launch with on YouTube? This is one of the most common questions I get, and it has a pretty simple answer. So in this video, I'm going to lay out a framework for you to know exactly how many creatives you need to film, what type of creatives you need to film in order to launch your YouTube ads. So my biggest recommendation for this question is, in terms of number of creatives, you want to launch 2 to 3 creatives, but you want them to be very different from each other. Your first creatives you should launch should be as stylistically different as possible. Now, if you're in lead gen, if you're doing like lead gen, any lead gen niche, there's a lot of different options for you to film. There's a lot of different styles of videos. You can use stock videos, you can do talking head style video, you can do testimonial style video. There's a lot of different options. Your first 3 videos should be testing completely different style choices. So one stock video, one talking head, and one, some other style. I recommend, if you have a competitor in the space, and this applies across the board, lead gen, info, B2B, anything. If you have a competitor in the space, one of your ads should mimic theirs very closely. You should make the same choices they do. It should visually be similar, same sort of scripting. That should be at least one of your initial 2 to 3 tests. So in terms of the videos for lead gen, choose 2 to 3 different types, make them as different as possible, and then you can see the winner from there. Now, if you're doing B2B, if you're doing info, there's not really a lot of different types of videos for you to choose from. Like if you're doing B2B or if you're doing info, 99% of niches, you don't want to do like animations. You don't want to do like whiteboard animation videos. Those don't really work in those niches. Most of your videos in those niches will be talking head style. They pretty much have to be talking head. So if you're in B2B, if you're in info, you want to film talking head style videos. So how do you film 3 different ones? In this case, you want to film at either different locations, have vastly different scripts or vastly different hooks. I recommend not using the same script for every video. Whereas in lead gen, you might use the same script but change like all of the other elements of the video. In B2B and in info, you want to keep you can't really do much more than talking head style. So the actual video style will be relatively similar, but the script is really where you want to try some different angles. Most of your differences between your videos in the info and B2B space will be angle differences. So in B2C and lead gen, you want to test different video styles. In B2B and info, you want to test different types of scripts. And from there, after you find either what angle you want to work with in B2B, or you find what style of video you want to use in lead gen, from there you can take that video and test a bunch of different variants. For example, in B2B and info, you can do different hooks at the beginning of your video. You can test the same video with 3 to 5 different hooks and see how each one performs. In B2C lead gen, you can try different hooks as well. You can try different actors filming the video. If you're doing voiceover on stock footage, you can try different male versus female. So the way this looks is, at first you're trying very different things on your videos. Your videos should be as different from each other as possible. After you find the type of video that works for your industry, then you want to start making smaller variations in the hook, variations in the actor, variations in the voiceover, whatever it happens to be, whatever's appropriate for your niche. So it's kind of this funnel down process of starting wide, 3 videos, and then as you find the types of videos that your industry responds to, then you begin to narrow down and test more micro things. Now, you're still going to have to release new creatives in the future. So you can go start going wide again. So after 6 months, 8 months, if you see a little bit of fatigue with your video, you can then decide to film a different creative. Maybe you film completely different creatives from the one you're currently running. Go broad again. Start with 3 vastly different styles, because that's testing different styles is where you can find some really good hidden winners that nobody else is really testing. There's some niches that I'm running in right now, and the types of videos I'm running in those niches are stuff that nobody else is doing, and it crushes it because of it. Because not only do I have barely any competition in those niches, I also am running creatives that are quite different from what everybody else is running. So guys, that's the general process for determining how many creatives you want to launch with. I hope that video was helpful. It was a short one, but I hope it was informative, because that really is how I look at this when I'm deciding to go into a new industry and I'm launching a few different creatives. I try to make them as different as possible and then narrow in and really test exactly what variations I can make to that final winning ad that make it perform even better. So hope that was helpful, guys. If you want to learn more about YouTube ads and ask me questions directly, I have a free Facebook group below. I go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can get all of your YouTube ads questions answered in there. If you're interested in growing your business with YouTube ads and scaling your business, I actually have a coaching program where I will help you one-on-one scale your YouTube ads with me. There's a link to book a call for that below as well. More videos like this over here to my right. If you want to see videos like this every week, I release about 3 to 4 videos per week, and there's a subscribe link below. Hope that was helpful, guys. Hope you learned a lot. I'll see you later.